I was 17 when my own family threw me out like garbage. And today, I collect rent from them every month. Let me tell you how I went from being the family outcast to becoming their landlord. Growing up, I always knew I was different in my family's eyes. While my older brother Marcus got praised for everything he did, I was treated like the family disappointment. When Marcus barely graduated high school, my parents threw him a party. When I got a full scholarship to community college, they said, "Don't get too big for your britches." But the real betrayal started when I turned 17. My grandmother had left me $5,000 in her will, the only person who ever believed in me. My parents knew about it, and they had plans. "You're going to contribute to this household," my father announced one evening. "That money your grandmother left you, it's going toward Marcus's car and the house repairs." I couldn't believe it. That money is mine. Grandma specifically left it for my education. My mother laughed bitterly. "Education? You think you're better than us? We've fed and housed you for 17 years. You owe us." When I refused to hand over my inheritance, everything changed overnight. They started charging me rent for my own bedroom. They made me buy my own food. When I got home from my part-time job at the grocery store, I'd find my belongings thrown around, my homework destroyed. The final straw came on a cold February night. I had been saving every penny from my job, keeping my grandmother's money safe in a separate account. I was planning to move out when I turned 18 in 3 months. That's when I overheard them talking. "Just kick him out," Marcus said. "He thinks he's so smart with his college plans. Let him see how the real world works." "We should have done it months ago," my father agreed. "Kid's been nothing but ungrateful since his grandmother filled his head with nonsense." The next morning, I woke up to my belongings in trash bags on the front porch. "You want to act like an adult? Go be one somewhere else," my mother said, not even looking at me. "Don't come crawling back when reality hits." I was homeless at 17, 3 months before graduation. I slept in my car, showered at the gym, and ate peanut butter sandwiches for weeks. My classmates had no idea I was living out of a beat-up Honda Civic. But here's what my family didn't know about me. I had been working since I was 14, not just at the grocery store, but doing online freelance work, web design, data entry, anything I could find. While they thought I was wasting time on my computer, I was building skills and saving money. That first year was hell. I graduated high school while working 3 jobs and living in a tiny studio apartment. But I had something my family never gave me: determination fueled by pure spite. I enrolled in community college for business and computer science. During the day, I attended classes. At night, I worked at a warehouse. Weekends, I did freelance web development. I lived on ramen noodles and slept 4 hours a night, but I was building something. By age 20, I had my associate degree and had saved enough to start a small web development business. I was designing websites for local restaurants and small businesses. The money wasn't huge, but it was growing. That's when I heard through a mutual friend that my family was struggling. My father had been laid off, and they were behind on their mortgage. Marcus, who still lived at home at 25, had never held a steady job. The house that had been in our family for decades was going into foreclosure. Most people would feel sorry for them. I felt something else entirely: opportunity. I had been tracking the foreclosure listings, and when I saw my childhood home pop up, my heart raced. Not from sadness, from excitement. By age 23, my web development business had grown into a full digital marketing agency. I had 12 employees and contracts with major local businesses. I was making more money than my father ever had. When the foreclosure auction came up, I was ready. I'll never forget walking into that courthouse, seeing my parents sitting in the back row with their heads down, looking defeated. They didn't even notice me at first. I had grown a beard, started dressing in suits, and honestly, success had changed me. When the bidding started, I kept quiet until the very end. Other investors were bidding, but I had done my homework. I knew exactly what I was willing to pay, and I had the cash ready. Sold to bidder number 47, the auctioneer announced. I stood up, and that's when my father finally looked over. The color drained from his face when he realized who bidder 47 was. After the paperwork was signed, I walked over to where they were sitting in stunned silence. "Hello, Dad, Mom." I kept my voice calm and professional. "I believe you have 30 days to vacate the premises." My mother's mouth fell open. You, you bought our house?" "I bought my house," I corrected. "The house you threw me out of when I was 17. The house you said I'd never amount to anything in." My father stood up, his face red with anger. "You can't do this to your own family." "Actually, I can. And I am." I handed him my business card. "If you'd like to discuss rental terms, you can call my office. The rent will be market rate. $2,000 a month." Marcus finally spoke up from behind them. "This is insane, man. We're family." I laughed, and I know it sounded cold. "Family? You mean the people who threw me out as a teenager? The people who tried to steal my inheritance? That family?" The beautiful thing about revenge is that it's so much sweeter when it's completely legal and justified. They tried everything: tears, guilt trips, threats. My mother called me crying, begging me to be reasonable. My father showed up at my office demanding I do the right thing. But I held firm. I drew up a proper rental agreement. Market rate, first and last month rent, security deposit. The works. They had two choices: pay rent to their youngest son, the one they called worthless, or find somewhere else to live. They chose to stay and pay. Every month for the past 2 years, I've collected rent from the people who told me I'd never amount to anything. Every month, Marcus has to hand over a rent check with my name on it. The house is in perfect condition now. I've made improvements they never could afford. I fixed the roof, updated the kitchen, and landscaped the yard. I turned their broken-down family home into a property I'm proud to own. And the best part? My tenants have never been late with rent. Funny how people find a way to pay when they have to. Sometimes I drive by just to see my father mowing the lawn of the house that's now mine. He won't make eye contact, but I know he sees me. They created the monster they're now paying rent to. And honestly, I sleep better at night knowing that every month they're reminded of exactly what they lost when they threw away their own son.